Hi, I'm Cindy.
I'm Dan.
Well, when we bought this beautiful piece of land, there was absolutely nothing on it. And 6 months later, we have a house, a chicken run, and we've also fixed up our cherry hill.
And we have a piece of road
Yes.
that's now starting to be a bit urgent.
Yes. Yeah, so today we're bringing in the big guns to help us out sorting out this road. It's been a problem since the rain season started. And for us, I mean, finding a permanent solution that we have to do it just once will be paramount.
Yeah, that's why we're building it in stone. It's 3 to 5 centimeter thick stone, and it's also a bit like the region here because the castle in Braganza has that exact same type of road leading up to the castle and inside the castle. So
Yeah, exactly. The big guns are coming, and we're going to be working pretty hard today
yeah.
with the help of our dear friend Senior Zès Manel. Okay, come on, boys. Let's get out of the way. Do you think you're coming? Not too sure what these guys are doing now. It looks like Senior Zès Manel is digging up there. We also have quite a bit of work to do from one of our property down to the Cherry Hill, because as you guys might know, we will have an ice cream kiosk, and of course we will be needing electricity. Now we will not be filming any of the electrical work. The reason for this is just because we don't want to encourage any wrongdoing, or we feel horrible if anyone injured themselves. Now, one thing is sure, the electrical work, this is not us, I'll be doing it. We are hiring a professional to do that, and it's a paid professional as well. Everyone who's helping us, they are all paid help. Cool, except for Louise. Louise donated 2 days to our cause when we did the roof. Thanks again, Louise. He is good, Seminal, with a digger.
I have to say he's like an artist with the machine because it's like up there. It has like 2 centimeters on the roof and 2 centimeters on the walls, and it's just never hit the walls or the roof anytime.
He's that good. Okay, in case you're wondering what's happening here, basically what the digger is doing is just flattening some part of our road. We had a bit of a bend towards the sweet chestnut tree, which meant that the water was pooling there. And now by flattening it, it just means that we're going to have a much easier time to irrigate it once we have the stones in place. Tiny Tony! They're fun. Bring back your turnip now. That's it. Aha, we should throw it again maybe. Okay. Okay, so if you're wondering what's happening right now, it's pretty simple. Basically what the guys are doing, they're just burying a pipe that we can use later to run a separate irrigation for our garden, which should be in front of the house at the center of a big roundabout. Now at this point, it's probably worth to point out that the stones that we are using are totally local to Portugal. In fact, they're mined just a few kilometers away from Bragança. Portugal is a massive exporter of these stones. Often what you'll find is that they're used throughout Europe, especially in France and in Spain. But most probably, if you're using stones like ours for your project and you're based in Europe, they were mined just a few kilometers away from us. Another thing worth pointing out, I think, is the fact that we have inquired and checked for other materials we could use for our road. Now, one thing that was recommended to us was to use the cypro and cobblestone technique. So basically, cypro, it's a Portuguese word. I don't know what it is in English, but picture it a bit like quarry dust, I suppose. And then so we could have laid one layer of cypro and then on top of that put some cobblestones. However, our friend Senior Zès Manel said, guys, don't waste your money on this. You cannot forget that you will need to pay for the digger to load up the stones, for the tractor to bring everything onto your land. And guess what? If you use this technique, you will need to do your road every 3 or 4 years because we do get very, very heavy rain here in the north of Portugal. All in all, using the stones that we are using and taking everything into account, this road is costing us around 500 euros more than if we did the cypro technique. However, we will only need to do it once, and for us, it's an investment that's worth it. Now, of course, make no mistake, neither Dan or myself are under the impression that this road will be maintenance free and problem free. In fact, it's quite the opposite. We can tell you that we are anticipating some problems when heavy machinery will be using it. We are expecting a few stones to crack, but we also know that we can fix them up or patch them up with a bit of sand and cement mixture. Now, another problem that we're anticipating is this winter, the road might get slippery. In fact, the north of Portugal does get quite a bit of frost, and especially our land, given its location and the microclimate and all of that. So we do know that we will need to spread some sand or some salt to keep the road very safe. But like all things, we considered pretty much all aspects of the project, and we would also encourage you to do the same before you tackle yours. Look at your context and look for something that'll make your life easier in the long run. That's what we did. Now, for this part of the road, we opted to go a little bit wider than just the 2-track that you saw towards the bottom of the land. The reason for this is just that whenever we're going to be turning into that little curve, it should make it a little bit easier just to stay on track. Now, of course, when we'll have a heavier machinery as well, it'll be possibly easier for them just to make their way on that little curve. If you are wondering what's happening here, so just basically Dan is putting rocks along the flat stones just to make sure that they stay in place, even if the land moves a little bit or if frost causes some kind of shift in the land itself. Putting the stones on either side of the road will just make sure that we have something just to hold everything in place naturally.
Yeah, I really like the road.
I love it. For me, it's like the optimal road.
Yeah. And then when he join them together,
Yeah.
it's starting to flatten out a bit, so you don't have to like.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like we have a posh road now. For unposh people with a posh road. How cool is that? No, but this road is going to be here for so many years, right?
Yeah.
Well done, you guys.
It's a one-time job. I mean, the road in the castle is built like this and it's still standing.
Yeah. And then the thing is, like, if there's not enough stones to do the roundabout and stuff like that as we planned, then we can always do the roundabouts. With
Pedras de natural.
Yeah, exactly. These ones. And then the thing is, I suppose, like, whatever stones we have left is going to be used maybe for this part of the road. And we don't need to be parking in front of the house.
No,
for
no.
the high
You can
season.
park here.
You can park right there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Getting ready to go to work? Oh, look, Mason. Tiny Tony. order some more, but that part can wait until next year. What a job. What a big job. Last and final day of the road.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it yesterday, but it was raining cats and dogs for sure.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
But it gave us the opportunity to test the ditch that you guys made. Do you want to talk about this?
Well, it's not so much to say. We just basically put a log in the front here to lead the water to the right side of the road or the left side of the road, and then it goes on like the edge of our land instead of going all the way down to our house.
We have, you're saying 8 meters there that we need to fill up, right?
Yeah, roughly.
So what we're talking about, guys, is that space here. We don't have a wheelbarrow. Sienna, you have a spade.
Yeah.
I have a mini one. And we have a few hours to do this job because at 2 o'clock we need to go to Bragance to have Mason shaved.
And clean.
Yeah. Yeah, because with the road and everything, oh my God, the boy is dirty.
And some social training, I think, as well. It's good for him to be away from us a bit.
Yeah, totally. Mason is super dependent. So if you do happen to get your dog groomed at the same time that Mason's at the groomer, what you're going to hear is the poor dog crying. And apparently it lasts about 3 hours. So he's a very anxious guy.
But he has a special handler or a special groomer that only deals with Mason.
Yes.
And she couldn't do it last week, so she had to cancel and do it this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So Mason's getting a shave. We would have liked to have him shave for the road. Yeah, because as you saw in the video, he's been running in the dirt quite much, and because he comes and he sleeps with us in the morning, yeah, we need to get the boy shaved and clean. We're talking about you, Pee-Pee-Poo.
Okay, without further ado, let's shovel some
dirt.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Why are we putting dirt in the middle of the road?
Keep the pressure even on the stones. So if you come with the wheel of the car here, the soil is taking up the pressure on the sides, so it doesn't tilt up like that or tilt like that. So we have even pressure on the stones.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And then when the stuff's starting to grow in here, we have something that holds the soil in place.
Yeah, because we're planning to plant some little white flowers, I suppose, that are just propagate really easily in the middle part of the
Perline, may I say.
Perline.
It's an inside joke.
In Dan's world, Perline is king.
It's that sheep.
It's that sheep.
With a broken rake.
More dirt, you think?
Yeah, well, if you want, you can start compacting it from the top, just
Okay.
stepping it down and see how much we need to.
Yeah. You guys are hearing talking in the background. It's just our neighbors are in their field, so just go to Oh, muito obrigada! Muito obrigada! One of our neighbor has a pretty big field right up on a terrace there, and she's just inviting us to go and pick as many peppers and as tomatoes as we can, eh?
She has too much.
Too much. And she's also invited us to go and pick some kale and some cabbages. We're very lucky.
Here we are.
It's in this village, you can really tell that the village is owned by two families. There's a really big family spirit here, and we've been adopted by one, and we're so happy with our new family, aren't we?
Oh, it goes great. We get help when we need and and all that. So, and we help out when we can.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that happened a bit off camera that you guys might not be aware of. So Starlink is finally working for us. It's in a semi-permanent place, and what we've done, we've opened up the network to everyone because
it's a lot of people down here. You don't think it, but on a daily basis, like the road up here, it's the reason why we stopped with the stones where we stopped, because there's a lot of tractor and cow traffic on this intersection here, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's because they have the grazing on that side, and we allow them to graze here on our land as well with the cows.
Yeah.
And then the tractor comes in and out to plow the fields, and it's a lot of traffic actually.
Yeah, and I mean the issue that's been happening so far for the families of our village, because we are so low in the mountain, no one gets mobile signal here. It's impossible.
No, yeah.
That's kind of why we opened up our internet connection to whoever can access it, really. It's kind of like giving people a security. If something happens, at least they can reach WhatsApp. And I mean, the funny thing is as well, for Teresa, I mean, for her, getting internet in her house, because of the location of where our village is, you can't really get internet. You can't get fiber. You can't get anything.
And she just said that yesterday she was talking with her friend on the other side of the mountain and she was herding the goats.
Yeah.
With our internet, it's really good.
It feels so good. And I mean, because the thing is as well, like a lot of people have not been used to having internet accessibility, so many of them still use the good old Nokia phone, and because they're little tanks, these phones, non-smartphones, but we have some smartphones that we don't use, so we're just giving them away to the people of the village. And then
it makes no sense to having an old smartphone in a drawer collecting dust thinking you're gonna do something with it.
And for Teresa, it was the smartphone that we gave her. It was totally life-changing, as you said. Like the other day, she was on the big mountains herding the goats, and she could just WhatsApp with her daughter, which is great. So everyone is super happy about that. And again, the sight of internet for the village, it's something that they couldn't even picture happening here.
Because we are down in the pit here. I mean, even in this time of year, when the frost comes, the frost stays on the grass on the bottom part when the sun don't touch until 2 o'clock sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
At least last year. So, but let's see this year when we cleared up the chicken hill a bit. Maybe it's gonna be a bit changed.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a bit changed. Yeah.
It's a lot of movement on a Friday. Yeah. Even the camera came to finish up the work.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. We had the municipality that came. They're just finishing up the water installation on one of our properties. So, and I mean, again, it just goes to show how helpful Portuguese people are. We had a temporary water installation, and we thought, oh, okay, temporary means for years and years and years, right? Actually, it's been 3 weeks, and they're here to do the work now. So really.
He said that it had taken a lot of time, but.
And they even apologized for taking so long. How nice is that? Well, with 120 meters worth of road completed, I think it's pretty fair to say that we can end the video for this week.
Yeah.
we still have so much work to do on the road, and it will happen in phases for us. Because as you can see, the road stops right there. But what we have planned is to do a roundabout in front of the house. And this will probably happen next year. We do have enough stones.
Yeah.
We don't have enough sand right now, and there's still a lot of planning that needs to happen. You guys know us. By the time it's time to do the roundabout,
We
there
changed
might
our mind.
not be a roundabout.
No, it could very well be no roundabout, because now we're talking about just having a 3-point turn here instead of a roundabout.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Decisions, decisions, decisions.
Libras.
Ah.
Not great.
Now, next week on Sunday, you're going to see another build. Right now, we're kind of brainstorming what we're going to be building next. Either.
All we know, we have a pile of scrap that needs to be turned into something. Well, scrap is just shorter length of facade that we need to do something with.
Leftover wood from our house.
We're not going to burn it just
No.
yet.
It's either going to be a chicken coop, a rabbit run, or God knows what else we can come up with.
Yeah.
But right now, we're getting close to October, and it is time to start integrating some animals on our homestead, right?
Do some other stuff than just building dwelling, because building a house is important, but that's not the purpose why we're here.
No, exactly. The house was always a priority because we needed a place to sleep and wash ourselves and
All that
bits that people
civilized
do.
civilized part.
Yeah, but we're quite happy to be on partial gyps for a while and then have a temporary cooking facility because we want to be outside. We want to be with our dogs. We want to.
As long as the weather allows. No?
Yes,
'Cause
exactly.
as we said, the weather could turn in a week and then it's going to rain for a full week. And we can't do anything. And when it rains here, it pours. So.
Ooh. And I think it's even more noticeable down here because we're at the bottom of the mountain. So all the water comes and collects here. So, I mean, when there's heavy, heavy rain, we can't really be outside. Not because we don't want to be wet. It's just because everything is turns into mush.
Yeah. The only thing we are good about being down here in the bottom is that the wind doesn't really have time to pick up because we get sheltered by the trees in the valley, and it starts to pick up as it goes uphill.
Yeah.
So up on the mountain, it's much worse than down here when it really winds.
Oh yeah. And we saw it when we lived at base camp.
Yeah.
How windy it was compared to here.
Yeah.
So the road is pretty much finished, as you can see, at least for this year. To get to this stage, we would have used 4.5 pallets of stones and 4 cubic meters worth of Spanish sand that they call. And that gave us like 120 meters worth of road. And we still have a bit of road, of course, to do. But right now, we're just checking out our option, budgeting it, brainstorming the all available.
At least we don't have to worry about the rains to get ourselves up, because that first time this year when it rained, we couldn't really get up at Sullivan.
No.
We had to, or we took the Sullivan. We couldn't get up with Luigi. So we had to switch cars to the front wheel drive to the 4-wheel drive to actually get out from the house.
Yeah.
Which we should now be able to do with our normal car.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of normal car, Pedro, we have not forgotten about the car review that you've asked us. We've been really busy kind of firefighting emergencies here, but the car review is coming. You wanted to know how an old Alfa Romeo that runs on GPL worked, or LPG. Well, just make sure you keep an eye out for Wednesday because that will be a Wednesday release. We keep Sunday for the build and Wednesday releases, ad hoc basis. We're going to be random stuff, lifestyle video, recipes, buying chickens.
See if people like it or not.
Well, we know that people have been wanted to hear us talk more. That's been one of the big comments that we had. Like, you have to talk more. I don't really foresee us ever turning into this is how you plant your tomatoes, or this is how I don't see us. Yeah, I don't see us ever giving you.
It's more gonna be, this is a seed tomato. This is gonna go into soil.
Exactly. This is the type that we're trying. Let's see if it works.
Because we're not gardeners.
We're not gardeners.
By far, we're just
No.
we just want to try it out, see how it goes.
And the thing is, I mean, we don't really want to fall into the trap of YouTube where it's like the blind leading the blind. We don't want that. So we're going to be trying out a lot of stuff, and then you're going to get the result of our experiments.
Do or don't do.
Yeah, I mean that's how our videos have been
So far, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys seem to like to see our mistakes, and make no mistake, there'll be plenty more to come. The important thing is just to keep a good, healthy ratio of
Yeah, exactly.
success and
Failures.
learnings. Yeah.
Failures or learnings, as we say.
On that note, guys, we're gonna leave you here. I don't know if we'll be releasing a video on Wednesday. Make sure to turn on your notification bell if you're interested in seeing more lifestyle content. But next Sunday, we're going to be building something cool. We don't know what it is yet, but we know it'll be cool because we've got a pile of scrap wood that needs to be turned into something. And we might have the nail gun running.
Yeah. Finally.
Awesome. Again, thank you very, very much for watching us, guys. Have a good week. Take it easy.
See you Sunday.
Ciao.